Okay, good morning. I'm hoping you guys can see me. I'm just going to change over now. Okay, let's go. Okay, how are we going? Good morning. As always, my name is Julie Hall, and this morning I am so grateful to be able to stream from here in, I think it's called Curramine. It's between Towns and Cairnsville. And you can see, it doesn't look like a sucky place to spend the day. So I'm having a great time. Townsville. We had a great weekend there. So anybody new who's joining us from Cairns, thank you very much. And Helen Cassidy, I can see you're with us. Thank you. Ah, crap. You know what I didn't do though? I did not turn off on the settings to show the auto-generated captions. I hate that. Auto-generated captions always do horrible things to me. So this morning we are doing our block of the month, and we are up to the Fashion Avenue, and that gives us half of our quilt all completed. As you can hear cars in the background and people. Yep, I'm at a caravan park, absolutely. And you'll hear that as we're going through. And good morning, Michelle. Although I have said good morning to Michelle because she's sitting right opposite me. On to the 2-story shops. How easy that is to do. So let's come through. Please feel free to drop in and say hello, and let's get started with our video. Okay, and you can see here that I have sped it up a little bit because that's what we do. But I'm using a stonework fabric here, and I'm using Fairy Frost. I love using Fairy Frost. It is a beautiful fabric to stitch with, and really does allow you to go into the different colors. I want to do this block in brights because, you know, it's going to continue along with what I'm doing. And yeah, it's all, for me, it's all about coming through and grabbing those nice bright fabrics, and you got to have a red door somewhere. We lost our front door when we built Ed's office the other day, so I now have the back door as my red door. And I do like the simplicity of this particular design. Now I'm just going to come through, and because there really are 1, 2, 3, 4 different colors. That's all we're doing, just 4 colors on the entire project. Good morning, Lisa. I'm in your neck of the woods. Great to see you here. So we are laying down our applique. Now, we did a couple of classes on the weekend that required trimming or fabric placement, whatever you want to call it. And one of the things that I was surprised at from some very efficient stitches was just how used they are to trimming on their knees. And it really does make a difference. Please do not do that. You must use a totally flat surface. And one of the interesting things, because I'm on the 550s, they're great because they have a table on them that supports the hoop. Some machines don't have that, and you really do need that support to be able to go through. And good morning, Lisa. Good to have you here, my darling. Now, what you will find is the stitching on this one is all about giving the dimension. So you can see here that the straight stitching has given a 3D effect already to that window, and more will come along as we do the awnings as well. Now, thinking about what type, thinking forward to Thursday, where I'll be in another place again, but looking at what name I'll give my boutique, because remember, these are totally up to you, and you can use either your software or you can use your inbuilt lettering in your machine to come through and save that or replace that lettering with whatever you want. Okay, so we'll come along to our second window, and this probably is one of the quicker designs in the entire set, because I thought it needed, if you're going to do something, it needed to be almost striking with the fashion. I actually think that's a bird. I don't think that was a child, if you can hear the squawking. Okay. And I do just love a good satin stitch. It was really beautiful. I got the nicest compliments while we were in Townsville of somebody who, you know, I've been using your designs for years. I just love that satin stitch. I tell everybody you have the best satin stitch with the finishing of the triple stitch on the side. So I thought that was just a beautiful, lovely compliment. And of course then this has to be the time that somebody plays basketball. But you're getting all the ambience here. Mind you, it's a very overcast, about to rain sort of a day, but it's still beautiful sitting outside, which is something I would not be able to do at home at this time of the year. Next Tuesday, I'll be coming to you from my dad's place, ready to drive home and go and see my family for the first time in 3 weeks. Okay, so we've done our outline. Now we're going to come through and work on my next colour, and this is all about picking the right colour for around that stonework. And this is, it's almost a petrol-y, bluish sort of it's a really interesting sort of a colour. And it is quite close to what I've chosen to do my windows in. Now, I have sped this up. I think sped it up to 300%. As always, I am stitching on a 500 speed with a, oh heavens, what do you call it? With an 1175 needle. And I'm so sorry that this is coming through with some glitching. That really wasn't what I had planned. And I even paid for extra internet so that I could do this too. Okay. So, what's everybody else been up to? Anything good? And we do our satin stitch around. And yeah, the red door thing, I think it was from watching Notting Hill back in the 80s or 90s, whenever it was. I always wanted a red door. And Ed would put a red door onto our house in Melbourne just before we sold it. He went out and got that glossy paint and did my door for me. Of course, when we moved here, we actually ended up replacing the door when we were having trouble with it, and we just never got around to painting it. But then we did his office into the entryway and took the door off altogether. So now it is a case of we have a red door on the back door. Okay. So we're coming around. And if you're anything like me, if your machine is just pausing a little bit, you can always come through and do a quick restart. Okay, so we're going to come around our outdoor frames. And now we can start doing some cool stuff. And I'm loving my new glasses that actually allow me to see the needle. It's very, very cool being able to thread a needle without taking off your glasses. I do just love purple and red together. It's such a good mix of colours, I think. The other way I think I could have gone would have been a really nice pop of yellow. But I also love the colours that I'm going to use in the one tonight, or sorry, on Thursday